bus rounds the corner. It's another year, another proud child whose sorrow stands unspoken. They know she's leaving to survive. If somebody wants to be somebody.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Tony talking trash about music. Welcome in here today to an afternoon to Triple T. Today I'm going to just run through, I know last year I did a little bit more of a presentation on this, but I'm just going to run through the record store day thing. And it's no comment on whether it is. It's just that I don't feel that, I feel like some of these people can maybe lay out things a little bit better than I can, but I did want to give a little bit of my thoughts on the thing nonetheless. There's some interesting releases on here, and I think there's a lot. There's really a lot of things. When I first started looking at this, I thought, well, nothing really. I thought quantity wise, yes, there's a lot of titles here, but nothing really floated my boat. And then I dug a little bit closer, and I think that there is going down through here. And I'm just starting down on page one and going down as fast as I can here. I'm looking at Aha here, Hunting High and Low demos to begin with. I'll go in alphabetical order. They have an Air release on Rhino, Moon Safari Live, and other demos, which is kind of surprising. 2,900 that they're putting out from that. They're also printing the first B-52s record again. The Rhino is coming out with a picture disc of that, 3,500. There really is a really dedicated. Seems like there's a dedicated 52s. Audience. I'm excited. I'm just going to hit the things that I'm excited. There's a Count Basie Best of the Roulette Years. I'm kind of, they only have 1,000 of those. Good luck on that. If that sells, then there's a great portion of my dad's record collection that will do better than I think it is. But anyway, Belly King is what I'm looking forward to. That's an exclusive Rhino here release. 4,000 of those are doing. They're doing a Sabbath record, The Eternal Idol, which is one of the later ones, but not one of the very later ones with that other, whatever that other guy, Tony, whatever his name was, Martin, or Tony Martin, whatever his name is. Maybe I got the name wrong. I don't know. I'm not a huge Sabbath fan. I do have most of their work, the classic stuff. But they're doing 6,000 of that. And I think I have that one too. A couple Blackstone Cherries thing. They marketed after the Muddy Waters album about John Lee Hooker record where they wrote that he'd really liked the record on Chess Records, whatever it is. The Macaw sessions, Hal Blaine, Don Randy, Jerry Cole, David Marks. Now that to me could be something interesting. I don't really know a lot about that. That's something that's interesting to me. The complete stuff. Studio stuff about the Blasters. I love the Blasters. I think I got most of the records, so that would not be something I would be interested in because I've already got them all. But Blue Cheer has a later record, Junk. Go at your own pace there. James Blunt, Blur, The Magic Whip coming out. David Bowie, live show from 2003. I guess which one would that be? Reality Tour or something like that. I mean, we did get the Reality Box. Maybe it was the one after that. 2003, I'm not sure. Riverside Studios. It looks kind of like a wound down thing. They're also doing a CD of that. They're doing a Camper Von Beethoven, Telephone Freelance Side Victory, Cooking Vinyl, 1,500 of those. Good to see that. I'm interested in this Bobby Charles record out, Bearsville Studio Sessions. He did that great song that I think was it Levon Helm or one of those guys did on their song. I think it was the bass player maybe for the band, Rick Danko on his record. It's all small town talk. You can't believe a word. People always say, it's just a beautiful thing about small town gossip and stuff. Just a beautiful song. I played it in Kaiser and people got red in the face. I guess they thought I was talking about them or something. I don't know. It could have been. And by the way, I'm talking about Kaiser. I wish I had the damn art to print here. I didn't print out one to show you guys, but I'm going to do a close. We're nearing the time now. We're close here. We're probably looking at sometime in April. So I don't know when this is going to air. I mean, we're running about a month behind now, so it could be close to where this is. But if it does, we're going to do some special stuff around there, hopefully too. Let me keep going on this, man, and stop talking about myself. We couldn't quite make Record Store Day. We're going to maybe get the records physically in by then, but there's no way we can turn them around that fast. Churches has one. Alex Chilton has a line called Set. I didn't know about this record. Must be something new they found. A live thing or something. A live Rakuda record, The Colorfield, Virgins and Philistines. That's it was a good record originally. Collective Soul Record Blender. Elvis Costello, really excited about this with Keltner and the gang, Jim Keltner and the gang playing, and Jerry Sheff, I think, may have been playing too. Some different people. Kings of America live at the Royal Albert Hall, and that was I saw a tour with Elvis Costello around King of America and Blood and Chocolate, where they did theaters, and I saw them up at the Tower Theater. And they had a spinning wheel. One night was a spinning wheel show. One night was with the Confederates, this band. One night was with the Attractions. It was a trip. It was it was kind of a big. I think I talked to you about it before. It was kind of a neat thing. But anyway, that I love King of America, man. I've always loved King of America. King of America, as you know from my countdown hill, it's a very special place to me, and was very moving to me. And it's really the sound of a very deep soul kind of crying out. It's beautiful. De La Soul, another De La Soul. They're doing 2 7 inches. Bigger Respect, Dead or Alive remixes. I'm skipping over some stuff. If I do, pardon me. It's not that I don't. It's just that I don't personally. Looking for Jackie DeShannon here. Doctor Who record here. Another soundtrack here. 1200 of that. The Dictators, DFFD on Main Man Records. I don't know if that's the Bowie Main Man. That would be kind of weird. 900. They may have the rights to it though. It wouldn't surprise me. A working record, Strange Days, 1967, work in progress. In fact, the guy behind the cameras here, my son Joseph, just picked up a first edition Strange Day from the Attic Records in wonderful Millvale, Pennsylvania. He paid some money for it, but my son always teases me about Jimmy Morrison because he's a big fan. But as always, he's behind this camera here, making us all look good. There's a Kenny Dorham box set. Let's go on down here. Duran Duran. Looks like it's a 12-inch, some of a 12-inch dance thing. The Dwarves. There's a Dwarves record, 2200. If you guys don't know about the Dwarves, look them up. I don't have time to talk about this now, but it's one of those things where there's a lots of shock value, let me tell you. They're reissuing the Fleetwood Mac record. The first one just called Fleetwood Mac. The one that I actually prefer to Rumors, as I said well, I haven't said it yet in my list, but I think we talked about that. Jay and I did when he talked about guilty pleasures, things like that. 6475. That's a weird amount of limited 6,475. I wonder if it's anything special. I don't know. Look it up here with that. Liam Gallagher doing acoustic sessions. 2000 of that. Peter Gabriel OVO. A first release on vinyl, which is hard to believe. I remember when that record came out. I know it wasn't on vinyl in the United States, but I did think it was on vinyl somewhere in the country. There's only 1,000 of these, but Astrid Gilberto's that girl from Infonema. It's certainly worth picking up. Any of you like the bossa suave sound? Any of you guys wanting to set the mood some night, calm things down, and set the night into a nice night to eat and candlelight, and put on uh, Antonio Carlos Jobim. Follow it up with Cato Veloso maybe, and some Astrid Gilberto, man, and you'll have a good evening. You'll have a nice relaxed, and no matter what happens, at least you'll be relaxed. David Gilmour, Between 2 Points record. We going down with the Gladiators, have a record. Goblins coming out. The Grateful Dead are doing this year On the Back Porch, and then they're doing a Beacon Theater 76. So they're laying off the the Magic Spring 77 jaunt. There's a All Things Must Pass reissue, and there's been a lot of videos on that. Look around the internet for those. It's kind of weird. It's colored vinyl. It's kind of unnecessary. It kind of troubles you that the prestige that George has now. It seems like there's a rush to really put things on it out. Be Here Now, Record Store Day Song of the Year. Is it George Harrison Beck? I guess a recreation type of thing. Harvey Danger's record, 1,000 of those. King James version, is that? I don't know. If I would imagine that's the one with Flagpole Sitter. I don't know any other thing they ever did besides that. Here's a great one, 5,000 limited edition Hindu Love Gods with Peter Buck, Michael Mills of REM, Bill Berry of REM, I think, and Warren Zevon. What a great combination. What a good record. I think Dino talked about it specifically on the on the that he would rate it very high, and I agree, it's good. I'm looking forward to actually picking one up myself. The Charco Sessions from John Lee Hooker, The Face of '68, Peter Holsapple, Freddie Hubbard, On Fire, Live from the Blue Morocco. Don't know what year that is. It's 3 LPs though, 1,500 of those. They're actually doing. This is how far the Grateful Dead have gone, and to me, this is, I love the Dead, but to me, this is pushing it a little bit. But people are people are fascinated with him. Tiger Rose Rarities, Robert Hunter. Rarities of a Robert Hunter record. You remember those Robert Hunter records? Everybody likes them, but the singing's kind of, on the edge of sometimes of a careening old man, I guess, trying to keep going. I love him. He was one of the greatest writers of all time with lyrics, but voice not so hot. Scott Ian, Black Knight, Sword of Rage. Well, I wonder if he's doing that after his jaunt with. I wonder if he's born again after working with Mr. Patton here on the last version of the the fantastic Mr. Bungle. And by the way, I guess you can use this as somewhat of an update for the last Mr. Bungle video. My God, holy majoli! I mean, you talk about a musician, man. Those guys are playing things that you can't even really. Some of the stuff is almost Zappa-esque in that it can't be. I mean, you're really talking, like minuscule things over other things. It's more of a feel actually than it would be. I think they've learned it more like a feel. It sounds like, because there are all these, speed ups and slowed downs in a lot of the music. Boy, that first record is. I've seen it now. I'll keep you posted as I do videos as I go back through them hardcore again. But I listened to the first one. We have Ice-T, some live at the Miles Davis Hall. I didn't know there was a place called the Miles Davis Hall in Montreux. Okay, good. Mahalia Jackson release, Skip James release, Jesus Lizard, Jethro Tull, 75 to 78 songs from the Vault 3000. I guess that would cover up to Heavy Horses or something around in there. Right before Stormwatch or whatever. That's when I think it all broke apart a little bit, but everything's changed. Live at the Rainbow with Ray Cooper. That's the guy. That's the guy that does the bald-headed guy that on the Phil Collins videos and everything that looks, you know what I mean? The percussion guy that looks kind of like a church usher or whatever. And he doesn't look like a rocker at all. Okay, Judas Priest is doing Live in Atlanta '82, a 2-record set. That looks voluptuous. Gloria Jones Vixen, a single LP on Rhino 2000. I guess that's a compilation. The Killers and Bruce Springsteen 5000 Encore at the Garden. Val Kilmer, Maurice Jarre, 1000 Top Secret soundtrack. That's something to me that even though I'm not interested in that, it's probably going to be appreciated and value quickly with that small of an amount. Some of these, they didn't put. I noticed this year they didn't put any bid on. But let's go on down. There's Lost Demos released from Geddy Lee of Rush, 3,500. I'm sure that will go quickly. Lemonheads in Dreamland down to 800. The Lemonheads really, I guess, have kind of faded. Here's an interesting piece: John and Yoko, the Elephant Band's memory. Live Power to the People. Now that's about the time of the New York City live, and the New York City record that was just a complete disaster. The one that Zappa was on the third side. The one with Woman is that one. The songs are just not that good on it. It's all it's just got John Sinclair and all those songs. Sometime in New York City. That's the name, but I couldn't think of the damn name. Another great Nick Lowe record. Keep putting them out, buddy. 2000, Not Indoor Safari Volume 1. It looks to me like it's maybe a combination. The reissue of The Snake by Harvey Mandel. Some of those records were hard to find, but I have been able to find a bunch of them around here, back in my area. For some reason they're here. We have a live Nick Mason Saucerful of Secrets for you Pink Floyd people. It's just a 12-inch single. It looks just like the song Echoes. Although Echoes, as you remember, isn't it the whole size of the one? So it's probably pretty long. The Meters, live at Great American Music Hall, San Francisco. By the way, the Meters is going to be on deck here before too long. I did the Meters a long time ago and had been holding it for a good match. And so we're going to be serving that one up here before too long. In Argentina, Charlie Mingus, and a second on Resonance, 3 LPs, Buenos Aires concerts, and then Mingus at Monterey on Candid. Some of these things are not, for me, Mingus, where I start is the Columbia catalog. I mean, that was the kind of official thing he was holding down. Sugar Booger Minot, as he used to call himself. Soul Jazz Records at Studio One, 2250. I don't know when that was. I used to like him back in the days of the 80s. He worked at a record store. Joni Mitchell Live, 1976. Thelonious 3600. 3 of those. I guess that's with Jocko. Must be 1976. Hijira was right about that period of time. So I think, yeah, it may have been him and Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays and I don't know if that was the Miles of Isles, man, but I know what, there's some great stuff live. Moving on down to the Never Ending Story, Giorgio Moroder soundtrack, 2000 of those. Wes Montgomery's got one out. Morphine, Bootleg Detroit, 3,500 of those. They really are kind of a niche, kind of kitschy underground band. There's a Smoking in the Boys Room, Home Sweet Home single, 2,500 Watley Crew. It doesn't say what the format is, but I'm assuming it's 7-inch or 12-inch. Mulligan Meets Monk. Now they're putting that out on Craft, which surprises me. Remember the Future by Nectar. Another. I don't know why they're only doing 1,000 though. That was a pretty popular record back in the day. I mean, Columbia Record Club, I'm sure, gave away lots of those. Oasis, a 4 LP compilation, and taking it through to that. I start off again here with the second page of this, and we're talking about a Panda Bear release, Papa Roach release, Alan Parsons, I Robot, Work in Progress. So kind of another one of these studio outtake deals with Parsons, which he made some really clean records. It'd be interesting to at least hear those. I'd like to listen to them one time. Don't know if I want to own those. Here's a neat thing: Vicky Peterson and John Cowsill, 1,500. What an interesting combination. They may be a couple or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Pixies, Trump Lamond, Bossa Nova Live 2023, 3,000. It's kind of weird. Songs for Elvis, Viva Doc Thomas, 1,700. Post Malone Tribute to Nirvana, 17,000. This is after he's done the country and everything. Boy, he's all over the place, huh? This is something interesting. Glam's Live at Glam Slam, the new Power Generation with Prince, 4,000 of those. I like the Gold Experience. It was good. A little foul mouth at the time, the pussy, whatever it is, Control or whatever. The beginning is stupid as hell, but I like some of the songs at the end. They're different versions of it at the end. It was kind of the promo thing laid out like that. This is interesting if they would play some of that stuff. The first Public Image Limited record, which is really different, I think, than even a lot of the stuff that came out, really stark, goes to a place I think like some of maybe the early Husker Du stuff, like Statues and stuff, kind of sounded somewhat in a free land, kind of sounded in that same realm of things. It's just interesting. Queen, their very first demos on Hollywood, 5,000. Limited to 5,000, which is to me is pretty surprising because I know when Queen, at the time about when that movie came back out about Freddie Mercury, I mean, my kid, their whole grade was nuts about their band. He was in band. They played Queen song and everything. They were loving it, man. It was a big deal. Rain Parade, Crashing Dream, which of course any Rain Parade's good. 500 of them. I mean, what in the world? I mean, that's. I guess that they're all going to go to the West Coast. I mean, 500s is what we're doing on our record. 500. No, it's the lowest I've ever seen on this. Rainbow Kitten Surprise. That surprises me that they're reissuing that 3,000. Ramones Loco Live. It was a regular record. I remember that 6,000. Those they're putting out. Then for those of you who want to buy a headache here, Metal Machine Music, Lou Reed, 2,500. No, it's a you know. There's not, it's just, it's loud, annoying ambience is what it is for a long period of time. I have listened to it. I remember buying it. I thought it was funny as hell. I got it pretty cheap when I was young, and I did not return it because I didn't think it was defective. It's the sound he intended. It was distorted guitar. Reissue of Tim on Replacement 6,000. I guess it's the old mix. It should be the old mix. That's the way it should be. I know they remix it. They think it's great, better. I don't think you can remake things. Why they could say it's the Steven Wilson remix or whatever. For those of you who like it, he's very skilled. They just put it under he release under his name, but I just don't consider it a release by the artist when somebody else is rearranging what they're doing. It's kind of like playing, coming in your house and playing with your toys. I mean, it's okay, it's fine if that's what you want to see. I don't mind somebody playing with my toys, but I just think it's bizarre. I don't know who would want to hear that. Uh, I certainly wouldn't. It's not that I want to hear Steven Wilson. What he does, he's great, but I don't want to hear his take on Yes or his take on Gentle Giant or I'm not interested in somebody else's take. As you shouldn't be interested in my take on if I remixed Beggar's Banquet or if I did something like that. It's ridiculous. I don't. It's their thing. It's not mine. It's weird. Out of Our Heads. Speaking of that, Beggar's Banquet. Out of Our Heads. Rolling Stones on Abco 6500. They're working their way up, and this is the U.S. version again. I think it might be a mistake. I think the U.K. version's better, but. A Residence Left Over again. Keith Richards Live. Expensive Winos. 1300. Looks like only a single record on that, and on both those. Residence limited to 900. 6,500 Stones is playing of that. Now they're putting out Initiation by Todd Rundgren, 2 LPs. Hopefully they'll do they'll spread it over, a larger, because there's a lot of music on it. Or will include those extra mixes that they had of the different versions of Treaties on Cosmic Fire, which makes it my favorite. I mean, I love it. And then here's a surprise: the Arena Tour Live. There's only 1,000 of those they're doing on Cleopatra, but I'm sure it's somewhere. And they had kind of a special band that I remember. He had Rachel Hayden playing bass, and it wasn't the same. Wasn't the same normal band. He had that other guy who was playing guitar from the island and living in Hawaii. There was kind of a stunt person that was playing another guitar, and I don't remember why that was. But Jesse, of course, was still in the band and stuff. Interesting time. So I'm definitely in the market for that. Pharaoh Sanders on Strata East, Mac Avenue, My Gifts. Gil Scott Heron reissue of Moving Target. To me, I don't understand any reissue of a Gil Scott Heron. They're everywhere that I go. I mean, everywhere I go, they're plentiful. Most of his stuff. So I don't know where it's. Maybe again, it's a regional thing because we're close to DC, but which especially I've seen a lot of them. Anyway, Wheels of Steel Saxon, 2 LPs, 900. Archie Shep, complete at Antibus, 2 LP, 3,000. Slint Tweez, the early record, 1,700 on Touch and Go. Sly and the Family Stone, Winchester Cathedral, 1967, 3250. I have not heard it. I've never heard the boot. I might have the boot on CD. I just can't recall. I wouldn't imagine from that time period that if it's existed, if it's decent quality, it's probably cleaned up a good bit. Snoop Dogg with some stuff. Who cares? For me, I just, I don't know. And then they've got the Apache Inca, Matria Cali coming out. Craig Smith. If anybody doesn't know that story of Outsider Music Buddy, you better. He went on the trail to the far east, to the hippie trail, and never came back the same man. It's just something interesting to listen to. I had that CD for a long time. Apache Inca, Maitreya Cali, Craig Smith. I think I've got the record, so I may break that out in the Outsider Edition thing I do here before too long. Anyway, Sting 3.0 Deluxe. I don't know what that is. That's a 2 LP thing. There's a Dave Stewart does Dylan. Why? The guy from a good musician, the guy from the Eurythmics, but to do Dylan is kind of strange. Picture disc of Built This City. Soul Asylum live. I hate live stuff. Really don't generally like it unless it's a habit. A couple of Sun Ra editions. Oracle by Sun O, 1500. Desolation Boulevard live in demos, 1900. There's a Taylor Swift single to bring everybody into the store. There's no quantity on it, so that's good. so people won't be crying. They'll have enough for everyone, which is probably what she wants. I wouldn't be people wait out in line. I saw it myself, man. Somebody come out bawling, crying because they didn't get it. Some dorky old man bought it. He probably flipped it. Anyway, Talking Heads live on tour, 8,000. I don't know when that is. I'm sorry, I should have gotten that before I looked here on that. Check that out. There's also a 13th Floor Elevators live, 4,000 of. I would beware of that. I've got a decent one in my in my box set that I got that has the reflective thing on the front. It's got all the records. Not not something I would take a chance on. I'd want to hear a sample of it first because chances are it's not recorded well. Carla Thomas, Sweet Sweetheart. That would be a great soul thing for somebody to look into. Only 1,000 of those. An alternate version of Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak, Thievery Corporation stuff. There's so much good stuff this year. It's really incredible. Throwing Muses live. Toad Wet Sprocket live. We got Peter Tosh, Greatest Hits. On Rhino, U-Roy, Right Time Ruckers, and Reggae Sound System, 1,500 of those. There's some various artist stuff, Alts and Outs, Cave Stomp, Gillis Peterson Presents International Anthem, Heartache in Your Soul, Star Time Country, Jazz Dispensary, more of that light jazz stuff, MOM, Music for Our Mother Ocean. I've heard some artists on that. Over the Edge, Soul Jazz Presents 4,000% Dynamite, Rumble in the Jungle, Soul Slabs 4. So there's a lot of probably good soul stuff like there always is. Soul music, man, that's what I was brought up on, dude. It's in the 70s. Let's say what's my favorite thing, that would be at the Westbound Sound. There you go. Speaking of that, that's a various artist thing. It's going to be on Org Music, the Virgin Suicides here. 25th anniversary edition, various artists with that. Eddie Vedder's going to have another 12-inch single. The Verlaines, the Verve are putting out Voyager 1. Tom Waits has a single. Wall of Voodoo, The Lost Tapes, Wallows have an EP. Roger Water, Dark Side of the Moon Redo. Redo live, 2,000 of those on Cooking Vinyl for those of you who still haven't vacated Roger Waters' camp. I shouldn't laugh. I just don't, so a lot of these, I understand people's allegiance. I'm very allegiant to, if Zappa was still alive, I would be to him. If Todd Rundgren still, I still like it. And by the way, man, that Burt Bacharach tour's coming up. Check it out if you get a chance to go. Todd singing Burt. You believe this shit? I know there's the voice and thing. You've got some of the TV thing involved in it, but if Rundgren's there, you know it'll be classy because he's always loved Burt. It's not like a late convert to it. And you guys know from watching my channel that I love Burt Bacharach. That was one of my first, well, not one of my first, but that was an early on best of song list for me. It was one of the first ones here. Let's finish up with this thing here. We're talking about Scott Weiland. I know it's too late. 7-inch single. He's no more, of course. Moving on down here, another Marty Wilson Piper thing. My God, 750 of those. Ann Wilson, Rebel, which is a country singer, not Ann Wilson from Heart. Ronnie Wood, live at Electric Ladyland. I think it was when he was on the tour with Bo Diddley. Live, yes, the fall of 1972. So it looks like they're going kind of chronological with this stuff. And at the end of the deal here, you've got the Giant Years Piano Fighters, which is probably one of the most exciting things for me of the whole thing. Is the Warren Zevon box, and when you're talking about that, you're talking about 4 LP box set. Mr. Bad Example, Learning to Flinch, The Mutineer, all those on vinyl, man. That's fantastic. So get it, man, while you can. There's only 2,250 of those, and I know they're not going to sell that much, but there's so many good songs on that. There's some good live stuff too on it. There's some good live stuff on the Learning to Flinch, which is the live thing. You get all the big hits on that if you're wondering. Roland and Boom Boom Mancini, Werewolves of London, Poor Poor Pitiful Me, Play It All Night Long, Lawyers, Guns and Money, Splendid Isolation. They're all on here. And anyway, Mutineers are worth it by itself. I think that's one of the better ones. But anyway, that's it, folks. That's the end of it. I've finished it in under half an hour here. That's kind of my highlights of Record Store Day here. We'll see you guys at the record store. I probably got a list of 5 or 6 or 7. It should be longer, but we're putting out our records, so I've kind of got to watch the bottom line, as I always should. I probably spend more, as you can see behind me. That's only part of the collection. I've got some more than you can see, and I'm ashamed to say. But I'm addicted hopelessly, dudes. Hopefully, just like you guys are too. I hope you don't, uh, buy as many duplicates and stuff as I do. You know what I did? I think I told you guys about this the other day. I bought so many ECM stuff that now, you know what I did the other day? I sat down, pulled out all my ECM stuff, and wrote down all the numbers. So I took a picture of it with my phone. So now I have it and I can update it. So I will never again buy a duplicate of ECM after buying 25 of the same blue covers that are similar between all 6 or 7 different artists. I like the music. They weren't hard to sell. I mean, I put them on my Discogs and sell them. But anyway, thank you guys for everything. Please leave your list. Please smash the like button for us. Wait, I should say that at the beginning, shouldn't I? I think if I said that off the top, when people were still watching all the time, people would smash the like button more. But please do that. And we always appreciate you being along for the ride. Leave your thoughts here on this, please, on what you think about Record Store Day, what you're excited about. Still got a little bit of time to come. And we're going to show you about our record, too. It's going to be a little after Record Store Day, but we're excited about that as well. Thank y'all. We appreciate you being with us. Thanks.
Somebody